OK, it's time to shake things up a bit. If you tilt the wireless controller you're holding, you can animate yourself. Press the left stick to alternate between moving your head and your pelvis. You can change your sack person's expressions too, using the directional buttons. Come on then, give us a little smile. Press the up button. Go on. There, see? You're happy. Press the down button and you'll become down. Look at that. A face like a smacked bottom. Press the left button and you go all worried. What was that? Press the right button and you get all cross and tough. By holding down the limb buttons, you can use the sticks to control your arms. Yes, you can stop being mean and moody now. We're all very impressed. You've no doubt noticed that the music in LittleBigPlanet rocks larger than a boulder. So let's have some more. Open your poppet, select the Tools bag icon, and select one of the music icons that hopefully you will have collected on your travels. Placing them is the same as placing decorations or stickers. So find somewhere you want to make audibly pleasing and press the action button. You can fine-tune your music with the poppet cursor. Move it over the object, then press the menu button to bring up the Music Tweak menu. Useful blighters, these tweak menus. And there's plenty of things around LittleBigPlanet which like a quick tweak every now and again. I know I do. When you're in a tweak menu, it's the left stick to choose a setting. Then the right stick to change it. The volume sliders adjust the level of each of the different instruments within the track. You can tweak which part of the song the music starts playing from. And tweaking the trigger radius determines how close you have to be before it starts playing. Not too loud, mind, or you'll get a letter from the council. If you want to create something with moving parts, try making a bolt for it. No, come back! I meant a bolt as in nuts and bolts. Now, to use a bolt, you need at least two things you want to bolt together. Get a bolt from your tools bag. Use the left stick to position it over the first of the two objects you want to connect. Then the action button bolts it in. Now, we need the poppet cursor, so press back twice to get back to the poppet main menu. Select the poppet cursor and use the left stick to position the now bolted object in front of whatever it is you're bolting it onto. A quick press of the action button bolts the bally things together. You can adjust the tightness of the bolt via the tweak menu. We'll make an engineer of you yet, Isambard. By now, your scene should be looking fancier than Mr. Fancy of 52 Fancy Street, West Fancytown, Fancyshire. So let's fancy up the interactive aspect with buttons. Choose something to connect a button to. For example, an object you've put a motor bolt on. Dive into your tools bag and go get a button. Pop it down wherever takes your fancy. Then get ready with your trusty pop-it cursor. See the connector tab sticking out of the button? Grab it by tapping the action button and heave the gadding thing out. Take it over to the object you want to control and press action. On the button Tweak menu, you'll find the ability to change what they do, their behavior, if you like. On and off turns them on, or as you might expect if you're very clever, off. Direction makes the object change direction with each push of the button. One shot will make your object run just once, or if it's an emitter, emit just one item. And last of all, invert makes your object do just the opposite of what it was doing each time you press the button. All that makes sense then? Or does it sound trickier than explaining what you want in a DIY shop? By placing camera zones in your scene, you can control the zoom level and angles your scene is viewed from. You call the shots, so to speak, Mr. Steven Sackberg. Find one in your tools bag. Stick one to an object just like you would a sticker. In the Tweak menu, you can have a good old faff about with angles and zoom settings. As with photo booths, use your left stick to move in all directions, the right stick to adjust the angle, and the shuffle buttons operate the zoom. Zone alters the dimensions and position of an area that triggers the camera zone. Use the left stick and the right stick to do this. Oh, and the track player setting adjusts the balance between the camera being fixed and the camera following the players. Jolly good fun. You know when you've made something, like a fancy shape, for example, it's a shame to leave it behind, so here's how you can pop it into your Pop-It menu. Go to your goodies bag and find My Objects. This is your personal toy shop of self-made playthings. To add something, select Capture Object, and you'll get this friendly-looking rectangular capture box. Using the left stick to maneuver it and the right stick to change its size, place it around the object you want to capture and press Action to catch it. Gotcha! It's now saved in your My Objects page for later use. It's a doggle. If you've just conquered a sack full of traps, pits and obstacles, it's a real pain going all the way back to the start of a level. Find a checkpoint in your tools bag. Your faithful left stick will let you position it, while the trusty shuffle buttons move it backwards and forwards. And you place it with your wonderful old friend, the Action button. Make sure you test your new checkpoints in play mode. And notice that you always reappear at the last checkpoint you went past. The corner editing tool is just the ticket for making precise adjustments to the shapes you've made. Pop open your poppet and find the corner editing tool in your tools bag. Use the left stick and action button to select an object to slice and dice with the corner cutting cursor. You'll notice your cursor has altered somewhat and is now restricted to the boundaries of your object, but not of your imagination. And if you move it to a corner, then press the action button like so, you can then move it around with the left stick. Both brill and fab, you'll no doubt agree. Then press the action button to place it somewhere else. Or, if you wish, you can get rid of it with the delete button. And if you can't get enough of those cool and crazy corners, create new ones by moving over any point along the edge and pressing the action button. On LittleBigPlanet, you can make more than just collages and paper chains with our craft materials. So into the goodies bag we go, and pick a craft material. Then choose a shape and prepare to get crafty. Position it with the left stick. Scale and rotate it with the right stick. And use the shuffle buttons to give it a bit of a backwards or forwards motion. And stamp it into the world with the action button. You can draw a continuous shape by holding down the action button. Oh, heck, the delete button acts as a cutting tool if you really want to go all hello darly, to coin a phrase. Then press back to go back to your poppet. On LittleBigPlanet, materials behave just like they do on your planet. Metallic objects have substantial weight. Remember to hold down the grab button to hold on to things. Things made from sponge, polystyrene, and cardboard are as light as love. Glass is quite slippery and a devil to grab onto. Impossible, actually. The best way of learning is hands-on learning. So get a grip. Creature pieces let you create artificial life. Sounds like a good wheeze, as a certain Dr. Frankenstein once said. Pick something you want to bring to life. And go to the Gadgets page in your tools bag. Let's get your object gadding about, shall we? Select a creature leg or creature wheel. When selected, press the action button to place it. Press back and find magic eyes. Add as many as you like. Go back for a creature brain, since this will help the poor thing navigate and react. There's two types of spongy noggin, protected and unprotected. If you go for unprotected, rival sackfolk can try and pilfer that grey matter. rendering your poor fellow useless and destroying him. Both brain types have a few things to tweak. Setting the behavior to follow makes your creature walk towards you. It's harmless enough, but if you're not expecting it, it can give you the willies. Flee behavior makes for nervous Nellies. First sign of a sack person, and your creature's out of the door and down the street. Set behavior to ignore, and your creature will act like a surly teenager, not interacting with anyone and plodding on until it runs out of landscape. Awareness radius sets how close you have to be before the creature becomes aware of you. Vulnerability lets you say whether harmful materials, such as fire and gas, will harm your creature. But should your creature actually be made of flames, then he will automatically be immune. You can also tweak a brain to alter your creature's speed and its ability to jump or not. Simple, isn't it? Now, you probably want to look stylish and sexy as you're gadding about LittleBigPlanet, so you need to know how to get your kit on, or how to put your glad rags on. Press the menu button to access your poppet. Now, the poppet is the most useful tool since some Swiss bloke welded a knife and a screwdriver together. So let's have a Sammy Shufti, Use the left stick to go through the various icons on the poppet main menu. Press Action to choose one. For now, choose Customize Character. This takes you to your Customize Character pages, where you can have a rummage about to find a new style of sack material. Use the left stick to select something that says, "Hey, I'm a sack person. Get used to it." This is also your Little Big Boutique, where you can peruse myriad fashions. Some magic, some tragic. If you're in one of those moods where you simply can't decide what clothes go with your ears at the moment, just select this icon, which randomly chooses some gad rags for you. To get out of Poppet, just press the back button to go back a level, and press it again to close it completely. Oh, you're going to be the talk of LittleBigPlanet in that get-up. Either that or a laughingstock. If you're feeling a teensy bit devilish, you can add some mild peril to your scene. Take this rabbit. Seems quite a friendly sort. But go into your tools bag and you'll find some naughty danger tools. Choose the flame tool. Move it with the left stick and apply it with action. Try running into it to witness its lethal powers. Oh, my word! If your conscience gets the better of you, you can access the Unlethalize tool. What next? Gerbil with a flick hammer? By now, you should be the best at placing, gluing, and embedding objects. A sack of all trades. So, if you want to remove a bit of your newly built creation, use the Poppet cursor. Move it over the bit of your creation you're not entirely happy with, and select it with the Action button. Press Delete once, and away comes the offending section. Now you can drop it somewhere else, Or you can get rid of it completely by hitting delete once more. Oh, one final thing. If you hold down delete when you're selecting a part, it'll delete the whole thing. Oh, a little bit hasty there, Sackboy. And one final thing. You can't take apart things that other players give you. Just the ones you've made yourself. That's it. I'm finished now. Thanks. Toodaloo. Building snowmen is fun, although personally I'd be a tad suspicious of the green ones. But if you build them out of dissolve material, you can melt them in an instant. Use dissolve material like you would any other craft material, but then connect it to a switch or a button. A quick nudge from Sackboy, and it's bye-bye Frosty. Elastic adds to our wibbly-wobbliness, but it wouldn't stand up in court, Your Honour. Meaning elastic isn't as rigid as a spring. It does have some other wonderful attributes, though. Get some elastic from the tools bag and place it like you place rods or springs or strings. By keeping the action button down, go straight to your elasticy tweaks, namely length and strength. Strength alters the elasticity, or boinginess, if you want to be all technical about it. On LittleBigPlanet, nothing's set in stone when you're creating things. Except stone, that is. You can embed any number of different craft materials into a single object. Simply choose a craft material from your goodies bag, choose a shape, and then position it over something in your scene made from some other materials. Press the action button and abracadabra! It's embedded itself. As before, you can use the shuffle buttons to control how deep you want to embed your materials. Create and express yourself. You go, Picasso. Did you know you can embed objects into materials too? Oh, looks a lordy, yes. Select an object from your goodies bag and position it in the shape you want to jazz up. As ever, the shuffle buttons are kind enough to change the depth of the object as well. Love those shuffle buttons. Press action, and it's embedded. Now's your chance to scare the living breakfast out of a poor, unsuspecting sack person. With an emitter, you can make objects appear and disappear, just when you least expect them. Find emitters in your tools bag. Attach the emitter to an object, just like you attach a decoration. It won't do anything until you program it, so open up the Tweak menu. The Object setting allows you to select whatever you want to emit. And more importantly, where you want it to appear. You can precisely control the speed and spin at which the object is spat out with the linear and angular velocity settings. Choose frequency to set how often you want it to emit something. Lifetime lets you specify how long your emitted object will live for before it dissolves into the ether. Max emitted allows you to specify a finite number of objects. They are highly technical scientific specifications, okay? So, have a faff with them when you feel like it. When you've created a scene, other players will want to come and visit, so you'll need to set up an entrance. Blank templates come ready-fitted with a shiny new entrance. If you want to move it, just use your pop-it cursor. If for some reason your entrance has vanished, you can always get another one from the gameplay kits in your tools bag. Place it like you would any other object. And to test your entrance, gad on over to play mode. Ah, there you are. Oh, and do wipe your feet, would you? Conquering LittleBigPlanet requires skill, guile, and cunning. But sometimes you just want to blow stuff up. Find explosives in your tools bag. Now there's a choice. Impact explosives are highly volatile and go off if someone or something bumps into them. Handle with care. The other choice is trigger explosives that can be detonated with a switch. We'll learn more about switches in later lessons. Placing either explosive is exactly the same as placing anything else, only a bit more sinister. Have you heard about that crazy floaty material? Man, it's bongo. Floaty craft material is the same as any other craft material, but it has a tendency to bounce and float around like a cloud of jelly. Love those jelly clouds, man. They're totally Freaksville. I mean it, they'll blow your teapot, spin your melon. Whoa. Here in the LittleBigPlanet, you can change your entire environment with a couple of presses and a whoosh. Open your tools bag, find the backgrounds page, and feast your eyes on the environments available. Choose one by pressing the Action button. For total world domination, have a play with the Global Controls page. Change lighting from scorching noonday sun to the darkness of an evening spent wearing 3 pairs of sunglasses. Add fog from light misty threat to a real pea super. And change the colours from shimmering shiny sci-fi to a classic old film look. Seep yourself. Change the words to make it sound like... And cut. We LittleBigPlanet happy gadders like to stick together. So let's stick some other things together with glue. To use glue, we'll be needing our friend the pop-it cursor. Select something you want to stick to something else. Place it so they're in contact, and press and hold the Action button until you hear it go... Ah! Hey presto, they're stuck together like a dried-out cornflake on a cereal bowl. Now you can shift and shake them like they're one object. We're really bonding now, aren't we? A grab switch is triggered when a sack person grabs the thing it's attached to. get a grab switch from the tools bag and stick it onto something you can grab. You know the routine with switches, so we won't make a song and dance about it. Oh, all right, then we will. Grab switches, jolly handy. Hey, forgot to tell you about level keys. I've got a mind like a whatnot. For every scene you publish, you're given an associated key that magically appears in your tools bag. These keys can be used as a way of linking multiple scenes if you want to form an elongated adventure, or something like that. Sieve, that's what it's like. Sieve, yes. You can even speak to your fellow happy gadders through the marvellous mechanical magic mouth feature. The magic mouth icon is in the tools bag, so let's go and select it. Now you have a magic mouth to stick onto whatever you wish. Move it with the left stick. The right stick changes the size and rotation of the wonderful waffler. Did you know that if you hold down the action button when you're placing something, you can tweak it right there and then? Hello, Tweak. Here you can add some text by selecting Speech. Tell a story or a joke, anything. Keep it short and nice. Rudies are not permitted. For each Rudy you try and put in, a little sack person dies somewhere. Want that on your conscience? Now, there's some amusing gibber sounds in the sound icon page that you can also add. And the area icon decides how close to the magic mouth another player has to be before the speech appears. It's like talking to a brick wall, isn't it? If ye have the wisdom of wizards and witches, then ye must knowest of magnetic key switches. Actually, they're not that mysterious, to be frank. They just need a magnetic key nearby to activate them. Place the switch first. It's on your gadgets page. And yank the connector tab to connect it up. In the Tweak menu, there's all the usual switch gubbins such as on, off. But this time, trigger radius determines how close the key must be for it to activate the switch. And colour sets what colour of magnetic key will activate the magnetic switch. When you've tweaked the magnetic key switch, don't forget to add a magnetic key to the scene. Attach a magnetic key to something hereabouts, preferably something hereabouts that you can move. When you tweak the key, you can set its colour, and it's a good idea to make it the same colour as the switch. That way, when you drag your magnetic key to the same coloured magnetic key switch, hey presto, open sesame, and, well, there we are. If you've made something of one material, but then decide it'd look better made from something else, you don't need to rebuild it, just change the material. Simply select the new material you want, then select the Material Changer tool. Then all you have to do is move it over the shape you want to change the material of and press Action. It's now made from something else. Alter as many shapes as you like and press the back button a few times to return to the Pop-It main menu. The Material Changer does exactly what it says on the tin, or on the cardboard, or the polystyrene, or whatever material you want it to say it on. You can introduce motion to your creations by adding motor bolts. Handily, you place a motor bolt just like any other bolt. We wouldn't want to throw a spanner in the works now, would we? In the Tweak menu, if you turn the tightness up, the effect is more powerful and the moving objects are less likely to slip. Make sure this matches the speed level so it's not fighting against itself. Direction adjusts whether it goes clockwise or anti-clockwise. You'll soon get the hang of this. Sounds complicated, isn't. You're a bright bunny. That's why we love you. When you're in Create mode, your Pop-It becomes literally charged with an astounding creative power. Open your Pop-It and, abracadabra, magical extra icons appear. This is an opportune time to look at your Pop-It cursor. It's the funny one on the top row. Looks like a sort of tadpole gone wrong. Select it, and you'll find you can steer it about with your left stick. So, what can it do? Well, lots of things. Firstly, it can move pretty much any object or obstacle you find around you. Just press the Action button to pick it up, and use your left stick to direct it. The Shuffle buttons move the object backwards and forwards, which is useful for manoeuvring around some of the trickier little big planet landscapes. A really cool feature is that once you've positioned said object, press the Action button and you can leave the bally thing suspended in mid-air. But beware. When you press the back button to close your Pop-It and return to your sack person, the spell is broken and the objects come crashing back down to Earth. So move your little sack tushy sharpish. If there's a multiplayer scene going on, you might want to ensure players joining in late get the whole story. So you should use a closed level post to hold back new players until the action is finished or the level is ready to restart. Place it like you would anything else in LittleBigPlanet, and that's that. Once it's been passed, no other players can join in until the game is over. Honestly, it'll stop all kinds of arguments and huffs and filthy looks in the long run. Have you ever crammed 16 people into a photo booth? Well, sack people are smaller than you and they've got bigger photo booths, so ha! To set up a photo booth, get into that tools bag and dig one out of the Gadgets page. Holding the Action button down takes you directly to your Tweaks menu, where you can adjust angle and zoom. Use your left stick to move in all directions and the right stick to adjust the angle. The Shuffle buttons operate the zoom. You'll get used to it. You can also adjust the zone, which determines how close players need to be to activate the camera. And Countdown, which lets you add a countdown sequence of a few seconds. This allows time for humorous poses, but definitely no mooning. When a photo is taken, it finds its way into your photo booth photos page. Just look at that! If you're feeling run down and you need a boost, try a piston. Pistons are kept in your tools bag. Place a piston, like all the other connectory objects, by attaching both ends. Then hold on to your action button to get up its tweak menu. You'll find all the usual tweaks here. More strength gives it more oomph. Stiffness controls how erect your piston is. Oh, I do hope you're not smirking. It isn't funny or clever. Actually, it is quite funny. Placing decorations. This is where all those wasted hours watching pointless TV decorating shows really doesn't pay off. It's easy peasy. Open your Poppet and select the Stickers and Decorations icon. Did you know you can use the page buttons to quickly jump from one page to the next? Try it now to move across to the Decorations page. Now choose something that leaps off the screen and metaphorically kisses you passionately. Use the Action button to select it. It's rather like the Stickers feature, isn't it? In fact, it's exactly like it. And you can position and place decorations in precisely the same way. Most of the objects you collect as you're gadding about LittleBigPlanet will end up in your goodies bag. And remember, you can only access your goodies bag when you're in Create mode. Press Menu to open your Poppet, then select the goodies bag icon. Peruse and survey with the left stick, then pick an object with the Action button. Now then, you can position it with the left stick. The right stick adjusts the rotation. The shuffle buttons move it backwards and forwards, and press Action to stamp it into the scene. Press the back button to return to the Poppet main menu, and once more to put it away. But remember, when you close your Poppet, gravity will return, so look out below. Finally, if you want to delete something, select the Poppet cursor and position it over what you want to get rid of. Press the Action button to select it, then the Delete button, and the bally thing will return post-haste to your goodies bag. Phew! Did you get all that? Come on then, give it a whirl. Collecting stickers is the height of cool in LittleBigPlanet. Press the Menu button to bring up Poppet and go to your Stickers and Decorations page. Now swoon, peruse and marvel at the sheer overwhelming splendidness of your collection. Then find the one you want with the left stick and choose it with the Action button. Let's stick it to something. Move it around the world using the left stick, like this. Use the right stick to change its size and rotation. Up and down to make it bigger or smaller. Left and right to rotate it. Then stick it down with the Action button. If you have a keen artistic eye and want to mirror image your sticker, press the right stick and use the action button to stick it down. Oh, yes. Very Andy Warhol. Remember, it's the back button to get back to your poppet and choose another sticker. Then move it around with the left stick and stamp it down with action as many times as you like. When you're finished, press back to go back to your poppet, then back again to get to the main menu, and back once more to close it. Terrific. If you have a PlayStation Eye camera plugged into your system, then firstly, get you. Secondly, did you know you can use it to put your very own personalised, stylised, right between the eyes pickies and designs into your stickers? It's true. Bring up your poppet, then open your Stickers and Decorations pages and go to the PlayStation Eye camera page. Find a shape that ignites your imaginative firecracker and select it with the Action button. Use the left stick to move it around. Then, when you're happy, stamp it down with the Action button to capture the moment in your scene. And also into your My Pictures page. Nothing rude, though. No images of horses in bikinis, for example. That'd be just plain wrong. You can put bubbles in your scene for fellow players to pick up and enjoy. Just look in your tools bag. And on the Gameplay Kits page, you'll find a nice little score bubble icon. Select it. And, just like placing any other object in Little Big Planet, use the Action button to do so. Little Big Planet is all about the gift of imagination. So why not give some of yours? After all, it's the thoughts that count. Like some kind of little big Easter bunny, you can leave presents for people inside prize bubbles. In your tools bag, you'll see the prize bubble icon. Drop one into your scene as you would anything else. And remember, hold down the Action button to go straight into the Tweak menu. Use the Item setting to choose which present goes inside it. Let's have a nice big pair of spectacles. Lovely. Oh, you'll notice the Permission setting. Here you can decide how the present in the bubble can be given. For example, sharing present means whoever picks it up can also give it to other players. Private present means a player can take it, but they can't pass it on. Like if you've made something uber-gad and you don't want someone else taking the credit. When you're done, just plonk it down. I always thought you were a prize plonker. Honestly. If all this gadding's getting a bit easy for you, try gadding against the clock by adding a race kit. Hop into your tools bag and pick up a start gate. This, unsurprisingly, is where the race will begin. Position the start gate with the left stick, changing its rotation with the right. You can even mirror it by pressing on the right stick. Then place it into your scene with the Action button. OK. Now, a race needs a finishing line, so gad back to the tools bag and select the Finish Gate icon. Right, let's set up the time allowed for the race. Go get your poppet cursor and tweak the start gate. Set the time you want the race to run for, but, be realistic. Test the distance yourself. Now, let's have some stretches. A bit of warming up. You pull a thread, you silly sack. If you feel the need to propel certain objects skywards, then you can do that with rockets. You'll find rockets on your Gadgets page. You can position a rocket like you would any other object. When you do, hold down the Action button to get to your Tweaks menu. You can then adjust Boost, which determines how much oomph you want to put into your rocket's launch. The on and off aspect of the tweaks is useful too. If it's on, it'll blast off the moment you close your poppet. So instead, with it off, attach a switch to launch it when you're at a safe distance. Check the switch tutorials for guarantee of success. We want "We have liftoff," not "Whitney, we have a problem." Like string, rods can help with the construction of the weird and wacky creations that seep out of your imagination. Find a rod in that bottomless infinite repository we call the tools bag. Attach a rod at both ends like you did for string. Then you can tweak its length. The thing about rods is that unlike string, once you've set the length, they're fixed at that length. A handy little facility, as you'll no doubt discover. Scoreboards are a nice way to entertain your guests and let them go away with that warm, fuzzy feeling of accomplishment. They also act as an exit if the guests are becoming tiresome. Open Poppet and select the Tools bag. Here you'll find the blatantly titled Scoreboard icon, which you can then position and place like you would any other object. Oh, did you know? If you're about to stamp down anything that can be tweaked, hold down the Action button a tad longer than usual and you'll go straight into its Tweak menu. But you knew that, didn't you? Why not add some prizes? You can offer 3 for each medal. Move over the empty dotted circle and press the Action button. Then select the prize you want to offer. And don't skimp on testing them all out in play mode. Hit Start and select Change to Play mode. Terrific! It's good to keep your fellow sack persons on their toes with a surprise now and then. And sensor switches are boogaloo bonza brill for this. Placing a sensor switch is exactly like placing any other switch. Once you've got your Connector tab connected to your object, you can access the Tweak menu. All the usual suspects are here, on or off, direction and one shot. Speed, however, means the speed of the object is determined by how close you are to the sensor switch. The closer, the faster. The trigger radius setting affects how far away you can be before the sensor detects you. Silly sound effects never get old. And you can litter some about LittleBigPlanet so everyone can have a good old titter. Open your tools bag. Choose one of the sound objects you've collected and attach it to something, just like you would decorations. Remember to hold down Action to go straight to the Tweak menu. There are some wonderful settings to play with to ensure the maximum mirth value of a sound effect. There's Sound, to choose a sound. Play mode determines whether the sound plays when something hits it or gets near it. And as for the modifier, well, that lets you make even more supersonic alterations. So, have a little tinker. Sound objects. The more you litter, the more they'll titter. Adding springs, the LittleBigPlanet becomes a bouncier place. Get a spring from the tools bag and connect it, like rods and string. The tweaks for springs are length and strength. Strength allows you to alter the power of the coil. Keep it loose for added wibbly-wobbliness, why don't you? Can't have enough wibbly-wobbliness. Sprung bolts are fabulously handy if you like a bit of horizontal wobble. Now, I'm going to tell you another way to bolt things. Instead of bolting the first object first, you can bolt both of them at the same time. Use the pop-it cursor to move the first object in front of what you want to bolt it to, and then go to your tools bag and get your bolt. This time, it's a sprung bolt. Press Action to run it through both bits at once. Remember to hold down Action to get to the Tweak menu, where you can alter the resting angle so it springs back to the position you want it in. And you can adjust the tightness. The higher the tightness, the harder it'll be to move. Sticker switches are activated when a matching sticker or decoration is stuck nearby. Get a sticker switch from your tools bag and use a sticker switch like any other switch. Stick it down. Connect it up. And tweak it any way you like. And take note of that item setting too. If you choose a particular sticker or decoration here, The switch only responds if that particular one is nearby. Otherwise, any old sticker or decoration will set the bally thing off. But if pandemonium is your aim, then this might be right up your cul-de-sac. You know what they say, you ain't got no swing if you ain't got some string. And the same goes in LittleBigPlanet. Let's give it a go. Get 2 objects you want to string together. In your tools bag, select String, Wonderful String. Much like a lasso, put the string over the edge of one of your objects and press Action to attach it. Position the other end of the string over the other object and press Action again. String-a-ling-a-ding, they're connected. The Tweak menu allows you to alter the length of your string too. Of course, string can bunch up shorter than the length you choose, but it can't go longer. How much fun is that? How long is a piece of string? A picture can take a magic moment and preserve it forever. And here on LittleBigPlanet, you're never short of magic moments to collect. So go to the My Pictures page in the Stickers and Decorations pages, and you'll find the Take a Photo tool. Simply select it, then use the left and right sticks to frame your masterpiece. Press the Action button and crash bang wallop, what a picture! Captured in the form of a sticker you can stick wherever you like. And here, Bill's stickers will not be prosecuted. Justice for Bill. 2-way switches are fine and dandy, but the real cool kids are into 3-way switches now. You place your 3-way switch like you would anything else. Select it from the Gadgets page in the Tools bag. Then position it and connect. And Tweak has all the usual switch tweaks. Three-ways bring that much-needed third level of switchiness that 2-way switches are sadly lacking. Now, occasionally you're going to get stuck. It's nothing to get upset about. Don't go hurling your controller at the cat, because it might throw something back and it'll only escalate and then, oh. If there's really no way out, press the menu button to bring up your poppet. Using the left stick, select the Try Again icon. Then press and hold the Action button. We'd like to say no little sack person is harmed during the playing of LittleBigPlanet. We'd like to say that. Anyway, another cute little sack person will appear at the last activated checkpoint. Two-way switches are another way happy gadders can operate your wonderful creations. Place a two-way switch like other things you've placed and connect it just like you would connect a button. That means pulling the old connector tab out and connecting it to your object. The Tweak menu has some rather groovy features. On and off is, well, off and on. Direction will make things change direction. One shot is useful on some objects, just try it out. Choosing speed will let the switch directly control the speed of the thing it is connected to. A sack person must grab a two-way switch or get another object to nudge it. Have a faff around with it. You can't break it. Another cunning way of connecting things is with winches. Go wrench a winch from your tools bag. You connect it just like string, rods and elastic. And you can also tweak the maximum and minimum length of a winch. But be aware that a winch can crumple and become even shorter. Use the strength setting to determine how much your winch can lift. The speed setting affects how quickly it goes from being fully extended to being fully reeled in. Pause is how long it waits at each end. And sync sets its timing to be in or out of sync with other animated whatnots and ujima flips in your scene. Perhaps you just want your object to wobble back and forth. You'll need a wobble bolt then. Place it like any other bolt. Just look at the options. Wow! Rotation adjusts how far it rotates. And angle changes the angle the motion is relative to. Tightness, just like our other bolts, affects strength. The tighter the wobble bolt is, the harder it is to slip. But bear this in mind when adjusting the speed. Pause allows back and forth motion to take a breather now and then. And sync controls the timing if you have other moving objects in your scene and you want to synchronize them. Wobble bolt. Wobble bolt. Try saying it at least once in order for it to sound very silly. Wobble bolt.